but is to teach these children to not be cyberbullies themselves, not to be how to prevent being cyberbullied, but also not to become trolls and how to deal when trolled. Because these student athletes, even though they're 10 to 18, Impact Fit Sports are going to be working with those children and parents that, do well in sports. And we know internet trolls, because they're seeking spotlight at all costs, the star athlete is at a higher likelihood, just like you, Kevin, or any celebrity or public figure, is at a much higher rate of being targeted by trolls.
I was only a good athlete. I wasn't a star. No, just messing with you.
Well, yes, well, and I know. Well, it's not just it's public figures.
Yeah.
And you are a public figure because you have an internet radio show, so you're at a higher rate. Celebrity.
As soon as you poke your head up, I've written some books. I do a radio show. As soon as you poke your head up, somebody's waiting to play whack-a-mole out there.
Right, because they're looking for recognition so that then they can go brag to their other troll friends. And I've already seen here, and not that I'm looking at it right now, is that you've had a couple of trolls here already start to castigate you, about your past and your present. Yeah, that is what trolls do. Right. What I can't understand is, I try to put myself into the troll's shoes, and I still can't get to the place where I sit to myself as, okay, it's Friday night. I'm sitting here in New York. Let me go on to this guy Kevin's internet show and deprecate and try to provoke. I mean, it's like, is this what you internet trolls enjoy? Well, what the research is showing from University of Manitoba is, yes, they do. And that is one of the dark tetrad is sadistic. Mm-hmm. Sadistic is, and obviously you have, you have the sexual form of sadism, Marquis de Sade, right. And BDSM, but we're not talking about that. Sadistic means is to be aroused and to feel a sense of accomplishment by humiliating and exploiting others. Mm-hmm. So you get off, if you're an internet troll, when it falls under sadistic, is feeling good about yourself for hurting others in cyberspace. That's right. Sadistic. Now, I can't imagine, for myself, why that would be enjoyable, but this is the dark side of the internet troll. They, not all, are sadistic.
Right. Now, what about the ones that aren't sadistic?
Well, we've got the other three. We've got the Machiavellian. Well, this is all part of the dark tetrad. We've got Machiavellian, we've got narcissistic, and then we have psychopathic, not psychopath. And when I add the IC after the end of those, as well as Machiavellian, there are internet trolls that are not sadistic. They score out, or they range on the very mild. But there's the other three traits as well.
Right.
And this is what we're seeing more and more. And if I can, real quickly, it's just to finish the shout out. So Impact Fit Sports, that is going to be working, teaching children and their families. And then recently, Bronx Pickles out of the Bronx, and Joseph Kondratz, I just spoke to him today. And they're, I'm going to be helping them set up a website to where, not only sell pickles out of the Bronx, but online, but a whole variety of. But the good thing is that they're going to dedicate a portion of their website to teaching, not only their consumers, but the community in general about internet trolls, about internet safety. So that's why I wanted to give a shout out to Bronx Pickles. They also have great pickles too.
Well, I know a lot of people on Spreaker that like to smoke pickles, and they're going to love it. They're going to love this. Bronx Pickle is what it's called. And you haven't built their website yet.
Not yet, and I'm actually going to be helping them. And but the good thing is, and like I said, thank you, Mr. Kondratz. And see, again, it's all about small business, large business that dedicates. It's kind of like for those that are a little bit McDonald's, the fast food. They have the Ronald McDonald House. It's called social cause marketing. Well, if I have anything to do with it, whether it's small businesses like Impact Fit Sports and Bronx Pickles, or it's big businesses like Microsoft, is to encourage their consumer base about internet trolls, about, not to push my own brand, but to teach people of the information age about iPredators, because they're growing and we need to stop them. Because if we don't, Kevin, again, the federal government is going to get involved, and then I might as well just turn the internet off.
Yeah. I think that's what's coming. It's going to, maybe it's the same mentality in some cases as crashing a party, because I don't know if the trolls are, in general, the average troll is wise enough to see where this is leading. But it's also, forget about law for a second, it's also a fucking asshole thing to do. Going and fucking with people for no reason. And I swear to God, I hope that everybody that's ever done that is exposed. I'm agnostic religiously. I hope there's a God. I want to look in these people's faces when they face judgment, but chances are, in my opinion, they'll never face judgment unless we have federal or international law come in and do what it has to do to shut people down. And when they do, as you said, they will get so deep into your lives that everywhere you go and everything you do, something is getting monitored. And it's going to be a shame. And it really
what's happening now here in the United States, and it's being talked about, and I'm predicting, like I said, it's all conjecture. I didn't create it, but is criminal defamation. Mm-hmm. And that is being discussed. And why that is so major is presently is that, these trolls and other cyber harassers, is that with civil litigation, you can sue trolls, mm-hmm. for a lot of money. For instance, recently, and I saw it in the news, James Woods, who's an actor, is publicly coming out to, and it's going to cost him God knows how much money, is to target and bring to court through civil litigation are his trolls. He's an actor. Okay. But
he's a feisty guy. I could see him doing that fight.
But the thing is, once criminal defamation occurs, now it's a law to where it's not about civil litigation and getting sued. It's now bars, corrections, and jail. And this is criminal defamation. It hasn't been established yet, but as I said, within the next 3 to 5 years, I have a strong belief that is going to be on the books. Now, the difference is then, so now you have a criminal statute. Well, what does that do to civil litigation? That ups that ante as well. So that now internet trolls with all their nonsense and all their garbage, now it's not just them, who's going to sue me? It's now, what? I'm not going to swear. Is now, with Interpol, I don't care if you live in Australia. I don't care if you live in Riverside, California, Edinburgh, Scotland, or Lithuania, and you trolls know what I'm talking about. You now, through Interpol and through other European agencies, and also the feds, the FBI, you now will be attainable. And that is one of the upsides of the way we're moving through criminal defamation.
Yeah. This is something I wanted to talk about that I haven't told you about, Doc, and it's not a surprise question or anything, but I think you probably already know about it. They are coming out, and I'm so effing relieved that this is in the pipeline, with software that you can run audio through and get a very good accuracy rate of when a person is speaking the truth and when they're lying. Should this terrify some people that speak online?
Well, Kevin, anything that we can create that is going to protect, because, and see, what's most importantly, is today's predatorial troll and these little groups of predatorial trolls, they're not just provoking Kevin and me. They're going after your kids. They're going after your careers. They're going after anything related to you, because it's all about crushing you psychologically. So to me, anything that's going to identify them, of course, I support it, because they need to, and they will. I promise you, despite what they say, they will. A time will come, and I'm hoping is that we don't have to get the federal government involved to where now they've taken over the internet completely and publicly. I have faith, oh God, I have faith in my colleagues, my associates, and my friends that, our nation will create something that brings justice to the trolls.
Amen. I don't have that faith right now, but if I gave you enough time, I think you could slowly convert me. I'm certainly on board with the cause. I hate to see it. Some of the shows I listen to on Spreaker, for example, there's one show that I listen to where the host is always attacking this other host. Now, this goes back something like 5 years between these two. And what I do when this is happening, because this is a very talented host, is I usually kind of think of the attack part as like commercials. It just doesn't do anything for me. I'm not entertained by it, but I'm also not appalled by it because this war goes back so far. I mean, this is like an Arab and Palestinian thing going on here, or the Israeli and Palestinian thing going on. Yeah, I let them fight their war, but I can't wait until this host gets past that part and starts talking about politics and stuff and joking, because he's hilarious. I love him. But what's going on? When can you say someone's not trolling, they're just defending themselves or engaging in an argument?
Well, that you bring up another extra point, and please, your listeners got to know, I did not send Kevin a list of talking points. This is Kevin and his brilliance.
I may go get my PhD now. Watch out, doctor. It's not too late.
One of the biggest things that we hear, particularly because we identify, we investigate as it relates to trolls, like I said, that's 1/8 of what I do, is they're constantly complaining about First Amendment, freedom of speech, First Amendment rights. Right. Well, you know what? No, it's not freedom of speech. It's not First Amendment right. Is because when you engage in hate speech, that is not First Amendment. Right. I am the first, and I give people a lot of latitude, Kevin. I like dissension. I like, opposing opinions, because when I get, people disagree with me, it happens all the time. I learn, right. And that is what about being the consummate student is. Tell me when I'm wrong. Disagree with me. But there is a line to where then you move into slander and libel and defamation, where you're no longer attacking my views, my ideologies, whatever that may be. You're now attacking me, my kid, and my business. What does that have to do with whatever my ideology, whether it's politics, religion, whatever it is? That is the fine line. And that is where we're moving, because today's trolls, they don't give a shit. Right. So they're not just opposing or disagreeing with you. They're not just disagreeing with you, but at the same time, they're also calling you a piece of shit. Right. And at the same time, they're doxing you and they're putting up all your public information and laughing about it. Right. Now, what's going to happen is, what they don't understand, Kevin, is a day will come, let's say it's 5 years down the road, and we have criminal defamation, and Dr. Nuchatella, let's say, is still alive, and I get a call, and we now have this law in the books, and now I've identified you, troll, and now we involve information security experts, and I bring your ass into court, not myself, but the prosecution, the judicial system. Well, what we're going to be able to pull from your social media accounts, trolls, because this is where they love to go, is your entire database experience, every single post, image, anything that you have disseminated in cyberspace over the last 5 years, 7, whatever, will be able to pull up.
That's right.
And they won't be able to defend it, because we'll be able to directly connect it to the internet troll, and they're starting to do that already.
Right. And I know plenty of people that think they can hide their IP address with little apps and software you can download, but once the government reaches into your ISP, your IP address is no longer hidden. They will know who you are, and they will know where you are, and they will know when you broadcasted, and they will know what you said. And there's really no running from that. And that's another problem, how deep they're going to be digging into all of our personal information just to protect people. And maybe that's a guise. Some of my conspiracy theory friends would say, oh, they'll just use trolls to get deeper into your life. Maybe that's true, but they can't do it